I want to ask, where are my Capricorns this evening? Hey, yes. Blessed solar return to you, and blessed solar return to all my Sagittarians who had their birthday last season. We have entered, yes, of course. I knew they would pipe up. What about me? I couldn't forget. So today is the winter solstice, which means it is 0 degrees of Capricorn. The sun has entered. And tonight we gather on the longest nights of the year. The moment when the sun pauses, turns, and begins its slow return. Now, here in the Pacific Northwest, I think I can speak for many, but maybe not all of us, when I say I'm so excited for the light to return. I am a Leo after all, so I'm a summer child. And while the sunrise of winter's first light is truly a wondrous sight, I don't know if any of you saw it this morning, but I was out there drumming in my bathrobe, being like, yay, it's coming back. This moment does not herald the sun having returned to its full triumph and power. This is a threshold moment. This is the moment we make a decision to continue despite the winter cold. As the sun moves from Sagittarius into Capricorn, the tone of the cosmos will begin shifting. Because Sagittarius teaches us vision and faith and belief and the sense that the world is wide and that possibility exists and that the present moment holds infinite power. But Capricorn asks the next question. How do we live with that belief when the cold starts setting in? When I feel a lack of the inspiration or the motivation? When I start feeling the boredom? When I get to the humdrum of the mundanity of having to sustain this vision and idea and goal and dream? How do we survive the winter? Not just physically, but spiritually. At this solstice of 2025, the sun is moving closer and closer in a dance with Mars over the next few weeks. And Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Mars is often misunderstood as purely rage or aggression or just brute force. But in Capricorn, a feminine, receptive earth sign, Mars is considered to be exalted. Listen to that again. Mars, the great god of action, of drive, of passion, of war, of cutting, is considered exalted in the earthly feminine sign of Capricorn, a sign of receiving, a sign of reflection. I think the ancients were onto something, because Mars in this sign becomes disciplined will, focused action, the ability to direct energy where it actually matters the most. The sign of Capricorn itself is deeply misunderstood. This is a pedestal I could get on, but I will save you that. But it has been bastardized into a sign of hierarchy and capitalism and cold ambition. But Capricorn is the sea goat, a creature that exists in extremes. It climbs to the highest of peaks. It descends to the deepest of waters, and it understands survival in both of those realms. This is a sign that knows hardship, but not because hardship is the goal. All our elders had to learn this. The ancients distilled this into their philosophies. Hardship is necessary because endurance creates authority. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the great keeper of time. And right now, Saturn stands at the very last degrees of Pisces. This creates a square with the new Capricorn sun. So there's friction, there's tension, there's countless obstacles. There are warring forces. A profound dialogue is born between what has been and what must be released in order to move forward. Because Pisces is memory. It's longing, it's yearning, it's fantasy. And the very last degrees of Pisces carry with it grief because it is the very end of the zodiac. Saturn here, at these very last degrees, forces us to look honestly at the past. Saturn with sober eyes. This is not the past as we wish that it was, but as it truly was. The illusions can no longer come forward with us. And because of that, the stories we held on to may be dissolving. And there's grief in that. There's a heavy sense of disappointment. The ache of realizing that something we hope for will never be restored. But I want to remind you that Saturn is not simply a cruel master. Saturn clarifies the path to our own authority. And our ancestors understood this time of year intimately. They knew the threat to their survival lived just beyond an icy window. Winter existed far beyond a metaphor, and the danger was real. The wisdom of winter was not about heroic leaps or grand visions of next year's revolutions. For our ancestors, it was about what comes next. One more log on the fire, one more root stored, one more night survived. And that is the real magic of Capricorn. In the Norse traditions, the season was associated with the wild hunt, spirits and monsters and ancestors riding across the sky, gathering souls, gathering memories and unresolved threads throughout the year. And the wild hunt was never a punishment. It asks, what will you carry forward with you? And what are you ready to leave behind? What must you leave behind? The wild hunt asks us to conserve what is crucial and to let go of what no longer serves. Not everything or everyone deserves your energy in the next year. So, as an astrologer, I always ask, well, where's the remedy in this chart? What do we do next? Where's the medicine? And looking at the astrology of this winter solstice, this is not about scaling the mountain all at once. It's not found in swimming to the deepest of depths of the ocean. The magic comes from the very next step. So, which step are you about to choose? Capricorn mastery is built through incremental devotion. One decision, one habit, one act of faith in the present moment. This is how endurance becomes strength, not through suffering, but through precision. There's an enormous amount of excitement about 2026 from astrologers and people all alike. The historical air and fire sign movements of our outer planets is unprecedented. How many times have we heard that? Oh my God. How unparalleled innovation awaits us. Massive downloads of inspiration and the promise of potential cultural revolution. But here's the truth that Saturn is offering us tonight. Inspiration is fleeting. Excitement burns fast. What will outlast the fleeting spark? Dedication, practice, perseverance. When Saturn moves into Aries and Uranus into Gemini next year, the world is going to speed up. Attention will scatter, and the next great idea will be just one scroll, one prompt, one swipe away. And those who last will not be the loudest voices, but the ones who learned how to endure one step at a time. So tonight, at this darkest point of the year, I'm not praying for miracles. I'm not needing another guru. We don't need one. We don't need another master. We don't need another course, another planner, another ebook, another spell, or another great morning routine. Tonight, may we strive for devotion. May we discover within ourselves the wisdom to let go of what cannot survive the winter. May we act with the humility to move slowly and compassionately and patiently with ourselves, with our loved ones, with those who frustrate us, with our community. May we ground ourselves in the faith, trusting that each small step we take truly does matter. Mastery is not born from a single moment. Authority is not claimed by force. It is earned step by step. until you realize one day that you have outlasted every obstacle that you once believed stopped you. So with each moment of daylight earned back day by day in the coming months, remember that you rise like the sun, moment by moment, step by step. And that is how the light returns. May you manifest a life of divine purpose and glory, for you are so worthy of it, and you are free. Blessed be.